Hello, friends. Welcome to another episode of In the Studio. So, here we go. There's many ways to create a interesting transition between, say, a breakdown and a drop section, if that's what you want to call it. One of the ways to do that is to hold the tension to create contrast. And a great way to create contrast is to use silence or almost go to silence before you switch from an A part to a B part. Maybe you have a busy melodic part and you want to transition from that to like just a grooving drum beat. So what I'm going to show you here is how to create contrast and hold the tension using silence as your friend. And it can be a great arrangement tool. So here we go. I have this track here, and this track is a work in progress. It's still needs some work. Don't worry, it looks like there's a lot of things going on, but we'll just focus on this little section right here. So this is what I have right now. Which that sounds okay, but I think it might be interesting to, instead of just going straight in to the drum groove again, um, to hold that tension and build the anticipation a little bit more. And we're going to do that, using silence as our arrangement tool here. So what I'm going to do is take these 4 bars here. I'm going to take pretty much everything out here. Let's just cut that. And take all these drums out here. And let's see, take this little pluck sound out. I'm going to hold this tension for 4 more bars. And I'm going to leave, there's like this little delay tail on this noise groove here. I'm going to leave that in here. And let's have a listen to what that sounds like. Okay, I need to take more of the bass out. So I'm going to take all this out of here. Okay, cool. So what I want to do is I might just leave this sub bass in here, but I have this high pass filter here. So I'm going to kick up the high pass filter and then bring it in slowly. Yeah, so you don't even really hear it at first. And then I want to take a few of these effect sounds out as well. So I'm going to take this, I'm just going to mute these 2 for now. Let's see, I'm going to take the white noise out. This vocal effects I'm going to take out as well. And I'll leave this little sweep here. Let's have a listen. Yeah, I wanna hold that tension. So I wanna sparse this 4-bar section out as much as possible. This synth pluck seems to die away too quickly though. So I have this sent over to a delay. So I'm just gonna kick this up a little bit, going into this little tension section, just so we get a little bit more delay tail on this pluck here. And then you can hear I kind of have this atmospheric sound. So what I'm going to do here is I have a volume automation happening already in the track in another section. So I'm just going to take this volume automation curve and use it for this section here. So I'm going to pull down the volume all the way and then slowly raise it back up over this 4 bars and maybe just give it a little bit of a curve there. All right. So I just I want the track to almost go to silence to hold that tension and, you know, build the anticipation. Cool. One thing I might add here is just a little bit more of a sweep into when everything kicks back in. So I have this reverse crash here. I'm going to pull this over though and just use a little snip of this. So I'm going to cut the front off and let's see how that sounds. Nice. I think that will work, but I don't want. I'm going to cut a little bit more of the front off so we get a little bit more of that, you know, silence or almost to silence. And then back into the groove. And you know, I could even let it go to complete silence, and that definitely works. But I think in this case, just having it almost go to nothing and then slowly bringing it back in is a nice touch. This works very well if you are transitioning from parts that are quite different from each other. For instance, a busy melodic kind of build up section into just like a grooving, you know, bass and kick and kind of a stripped back drum groove with a few elements going. But yeah, that's, you know, a great way to hold the tension and have that contrast. Contrast is what makes interesting transition between, you know, parts like this, a breakdown and a drop. Contrast. And what is more contrastful than silence? Did I say contrastful? I don't even know if that's a word. Cheers, everyone. That's it for today.